Hey dudes, Joyboy here. So today I want to talk about the true history and the Rio Poneglyph. So as you should be aware, Robin's dream in One Piece is to find the Rio Poneglyph, which supposedly contains the entire true history. So rather than find each and every single poneglyph, this Rio Poneglyph is supposed to be all the poneglyphs sort of wrapped into one, and that is her dream. And I think at some point in One Piece we will find the Rio Poneglyph. But there are some other aspects of this that are just incredibly interesting and sort of paint an interesting story that I want to share with you guys today. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So I brought up this scene in multiple of my videos, but it's time to do it again, which is from chapter 301, We Came Here. It was the very end of the Skypiea arc, where Robin finally discovers the poneglyph on Skypiea that intimated the location of the ancient weapon Poseidon. Robin read the poneglyph and was really just kind of disappointed that that was all the poneglyph had to say, because she's more interested in the true history. And as she was about to walk away, she noticed something. She noticed that Gold Roger had written on the golden pillar near the poneglyph, "We came here, found the text, and followed its guidance. Gold D. Roger." And so after this point in time, Robin has some seriously intense speculations about pretty much everything related to the true history, Luffy, Roger, etc. And she says to herself, can it be that the true historical text is actually... Yes, there are several poneglyphs that hold information scattered throughout the world. I'm sure that by connecting them and reading them, they'll become a document that fills in the blank history for the first time. Connecting them will complete a text, the real poneglyph or the Rio Poneglyph, which doesn't yet exist. I'm certain that the Pirate King Gold D. Roger has delivered this document to its destination, Raftel. And so what's important about this is that Robin speculates that the Rio Poneglyph actually at one point didn't actually exist. That somebody had to create the Rio Poneglyph by connecting together all the various poneglyphs that were scattered across the world. And that this poneglyph was created first by the Pirate King Gold D. Roger, and then located in the island of Raftel, the supposed location of the One Piece. So that she basically speculates here that the Rio Poneglyph is part of the One Piece at the very least. And I think this idea is further supported by the fact that Roger specifically, and this is a quote, scouted Oden Kozuki to join his crew. And what's special about Oden was the only known person in the world that has the ability to carve the poneglyphs. Carve onto these indestructible poneglyphs, create them in the first place. Roger himself didn't know how to read the characters or write the characters. He didn't know what the individual characters on the poneglyph said. He could only hear the voice of the poneglyph. Basically, he could translate what the poneglyph said in general, but not character for character. And so with this being said, it would be impossible for Roger to create the Rio Poneglyph by himself, because although he knows the true history, he does not know this ancient language that's on the poneglyphs. And so that was the role of Oden, being able to both be able to create poneglyphs and then scribe on the poneglyphs themselves, carve the poneglyphs, as well as being familiar with the actual how to read and write this language that's on the poneglyph. Then that would be Oden's job, to create the Rio Poneglyph. Even though Roger knew the true history, he couldn't do that. Oden, however, could do that, and that would explain why he was scouted to join Roger's ship, if Roger found out that he could actually do that. And so guys, because of these two connections, I believe that it's almost fact that the Rio Poneglyph is actually located in Raftel, part of the One Piece, and was created first by Gold D. Roger and did not exist before that time. But what's interesting is that Gold D. Roger has not been alive since the Void Century. There's a period of about 850 years in which there was time for poneglyphs to no longer be accessible to find by those adventurers who are seeking them. And there's also just a ton of poneglyphs scattered throughout the world. There's the possibility that Roger didn't find them all. I'm going to go back to something I've said before, which is that Rayleigh says that the Straw Hats should continue their journeys in the hopes that they find a different answer to what the Pirate King and his crew found in relation to the true history. Which is to basically possibly suggest that they didn't actually find the complete true history. there are holes in what they found, and that filling in these holes might actually change the answer for those who are trying to discover the true history. And I think it's absolutely certain that Roger didn't find the complete every single poneglyph true history, because at the very least we see that in a cover story, Jinbei finds a poneglyph located under the ocean in some random spot. Basically, we're led to believe that this country somehow fell into the ocean. There's ruins down there, there's also a poneglyph. And so what do you think is the likelihood that Roger and his crew actually found this poneglyph? I think that logically speaking, it was very low. Jinbei just happened to come across it because he happened to be in a submarine heading to Whole Cake Island. And that this poneglyph probably was never found by Roger, and others would be included in this. Now let me bring up a question for you guys. I think it's undoubtable that at some point in time in the 850 years of the world government's existence that they have found at least a few poneglyphs. This is true because for sure they found the poneglyph in Ohara. And so let me ask you a question. Do you think that after they nuked the island of Ohara, do you think that they just left the indestructible poneglyph there on the island for adventurers to find in the future? I don't think so. Just because they bombed the hell out of Ohara doesn't mean that that poneglyph can't still be found. And so, being the world government and their desire to hide the true history, I think it's pretty clear that they don't want people to find this poneglyph, and they should also know that any attempt to actually destroy the poneglyph is going to be futile. So they would probably want to, in some way, hide or protect the poneglyph from the adventurers around the world that are searching for them. And despite the poneglyphs being indestructible, we do know that they can be moved and carried. We again see that in Jinbei's cover story, where he finds the poneglyph underneath the ocean and actually carries it all the way to Whole Cake Island to Big Mom. So poneglyphs can be moved, but they can't be destroyed. So I think the poneglyph that the world government found in Ohara after they destroyed the island was probably then they went back to the island and actually moved it to someplace else. And where is a good place to move a poneglyph so that it's protected, so that nobody will ever find that poneglyph again? I'm thinking Mary Joa. And what about all the other poneglyphs that they potentially found over the course of 850 years? Do you think that those poneglyphs also were left where they were initially found? I don't think so either. I think that they would have also been moved and then taken to Mary Joa. So you potentially have in Mary Joa a place with an absolute ton of poneglyphs. Or if it's not Mary Joa, someplace else, but I'm certain that the world government has found these poneglyphs and are preventing other people from finding them. So to summarize everything that I've said here, I think that it's important for Robin's dream to then actually take down Mary Joa in order to find the complete history, because without those poneglyphs, you are potentially missing a huge chunk of the true history, potentially very key poneglyphs which reveal very key information to fully put together all of the points, which is the true history. And so something related to this is how exactly will Robin come to actually find all of the poneglyphs and actually get the true history? How is that going to be possible? Well, for one, she could find the Rio poneglyph, which should be every poneglyph that Goldie Roger found over the course of his journey. That would be a huge chunk of poneglyphs. Then at some point in Mary Joa, she would have to find another large accumulation of poneglyphs that Roger himself definitely didn't find, most probably outside of the ones that were found after the point in time that Roger found them. But all the ones that were found before Roger's time that the world government basically confiscated, then those poneglyphs would be poneglyphs that Roger himself didn't read. We also know that Kaido and Big Mom are also hoarding poneglyphs, or at least these fish prints, which are impressions of the poneglyphs. Both Kaido and Big Mom are doing this, and so they also possess additional poneglyphs which might have been found by Roger, but also might not have been found by Roger as well. Considering that Big Mom, at least, has probably been a pirate as long as Roger, or even longer than Roger, with a even larger crew, because we're not really led to believe that Goldie Roger had a huge fleet at his disposal, whereas Big Mom definitely does. Her crew is ginormous. And so if her crew has come across any poneglyphs at any point in time, then they would make the fish print and then give them back to Big Mom. So I'm actually starting to think that the real poneglyph that actually exists right now is not all that Robin would need to find in order to understand the true history. She would need to find all the poneglyphs that Big Mom has found, Kaido has found, and the world government has confiscated. in order to get the true history. And so guys, this is going to be a really epic thought. But I don't think that going into the future and at the end of the story, Robin's dream is going to just be to find out the true history for herself. I think that it's important that not only she discovers the true history, but she actually is able to share it with the world. And so what I really am starting to think is that at the end of the story, Robin's dream is going to be to create the Rio Poneglyph in its entirety. I think Robin is going to be the first person who actually finds pretty much every single poneglyph that still exists in the world of One Piece. And then using this information is going to help create the Rio Poneglyph, which doesn't yet exist. And so yeah, that's all I got for this video, guys. There's more that I could speculate after this, specifically about, you know, if the true history is in large part located in Mary Joa, will that be something the Straw Hats obtain before they find the actual Rio Poneglyph that isn't currently complete, that Gold Roger created, or will it be after that? By the time that the Straw Hats fully confront the world government in what should be an epic battle, will they be 100% aware of the true history, or will they become aware of the true history as they take on the world government? Will there be some sort of sneak mission in to get the true history from Mary Joa, either by accident or on purpose, and then they'll come back later or not? These are things that I think I could speculate, but it'd be too long. Are these poneglyphs part of, or perhaps comprise, the national treasure of Mary Joa? That's something that I should probably do a video on, but I'm not going to do it right now. But it's definitely a speculation that can be had given this. And the last question I'm going to leave you guys with is it possible that Mary Joa contains the final road poneglyph? But I'm just going to leave it off here and let you guys speculate. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you have evidence that supports this, or in some way goes against what I'm saying here. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. Like the video if you like the video. I'd appreciate it if you subscribed. And as always, dudes, have a wonderful day.